Hello guys, so just made it here. First day morning in Tokyo. I arrived yesterday evening from a long trip from Canada. And I just had these thoughts again about the evolution of the soul. And these thoughts were sparked from the concept of being an old soul. An old soul means that you inherit information that you have carried, as a soul is energy in motion and energy is information. The more that you have gathered, the bigger and taller your soul gets. And when that soul is here in this earth body, I believe it not only shows expressed physically in the way that they authentically show up, but their aura speaks. Either way, I want to dive a little bit deeper into this, about the cyclical nature of incarnating on earth, where it starts, why, and where we are heading. Souls come onto earth first to experience group consciousness. Now, a group consciousness could also mean being part of a certain structure of a rock. Everything has structure and geometrical shape to it. The very bird has a certain geometrical structure and frequency that it is the word comes ambassador, but it's actually more an expression of a certain aspect in the universe. Just like how there's an undeniable fragrance to a rose, there's an undeniable color to the rose, there's an undeniable energy to the rose. For the people who have already been on the healing journey, you might have already encountered the rose as a synchronicity come into your life when you are opening your heart. The rose really helps us to remain truthful to who we are amongst the chaos of opening your heart for the first time. Now, of course, it's a gradual process, but I experienced it as like, okay, breakup. I've never experienced such a loss before. Super entangled, but the rose helped me to see clearly who I really was. So we come in group consciousness. You can kind of like imagine, like I said, birds going group consciousness, and they all kind of like act from one certain mind. The way that they make these shapes, the way that they fly, and they go together. Now, when these birds branch off, you will see that they will always want to collide back again to like the same soul, expressed physically. Same thing goes for wolves. They start in packs, but in order to become authentic, you need to learn who you are amongst the fear of survival, amongst the suppression. And this led me onto this thinking journey yesterday of the meaning of why there's actually this matrix that we're in. Now, the people who have healed and are free, we're all healing, but the people who have done a lot of healing work and are more free, live more free, and that is their expression in life and their experience now. They will look at the matrix as like, wow, everybody's being indoctrinated by fear. But it's actually through this oppression that we learn who we really are. It's through this fear and this dense energy in this school we're going through certain grades where it literally pushes you to the truth of your soul. So everything was actually the fertile ground. The matrix is the fertile ground for indestructible souls to come in their unique expression in human form. Either way, let's go back to the wolves again. The wolves split out from their pack, journeys on their own, and that's where a personality is formed. And before they enter into the expression of a human, which we could say is as of one of the last phases of being an earth incarnate in this three-dimensional experience. Now, there are so many other dimensions and realities around earth which are different. There's even inside of earth. We'll get to that in another video. The beings that govern and assist our reality hold a structure. But for now, there's nothing more or less spiritual. However, there is a path of ascension, meaning that the more you have transcended the separation, which basically comes from fear, which is basically fear-based, the more we've transcended it and we become expanded in our awareness, emotionally, mentally, as a human we expand into the universe, we become kind of useless to this earth plane. So I was just thinking, does it mean that you are less spiritual when you work for the government, helping with the infrastructure of a certain city, or when you are more focused on your healing journey, healing a lot of emotional pains, Well, it really all depends what your soul's intention was to experience as a human. Because you can be an enlightened being and you just work at the market, it doesn't matter. There are incredibly advanced souls who like work in the stock market or whatever, but the experiences that they face are increasingly challenging, are increasingly helping these people ascend. You have finished a lot of the challenges here on planet Earth. You ascend to a higher dimension, and your vibrational level is now, your soul vibrates at that vibrational level. There is still a way to walk back down the ladder, incarnate again in this three-dimensional experience. Now these are the volunteers, these are the starseeds that literally, the light workers that literally responded to an invitation to assist in a certain movement of something that is really important for the evolution of a bigger soul. So this goes to the concept that we are part of a larger tree, or we could say a finger of a hand. So this is the bigger soul, and these are smaller souls. Then the twin flame is, for example, these two souls next to each other, or one finger on the same hand, incarnated at the same time. Meaning our soul will always be part of a bigger soul, the higher self, which again is part of something bigger. Most advanced souls, they do not come down, they continue to go up. You go up through all the dimensions until you return back to source, and you start the cycle of the soul again to the first dimension, where you go back up again to where we are now, the third dimensional experience.